everyone, Destiny here. Join us for our 10th The National Gospel Songwriter Conference. It's homecoming time, July 7th through the 10th. The host church is Tucker's Temple Church of God in Christ, 610 North 7th Street, Memphis, Tennessee. It's an event for the entire family. Yes, even something for my age. At the conference, we will learn songs from independent artists, handbells, sign language, and much, much more. Also, we will get the chance to perform. July 10th at 6 p.m. for our finale night, Children Expulsion. So come out to the 10th National Gospel Songwriters Conference, July 7th through 10th. See you there! Hello everyone, Justice here. Join us for our 10th The National Gospel Songwriter Conference. It's homecoming time, July 7th through the 10th. The host church is Tucker's Temple Church of God in Christ, 610 North 7th Street, Memphis, Tennessee. It's an event for the entire family. Yes, even something for teenagers. At the conference, we will learn the media side of running a service, how to conduct interviews, and work with the chief executive administrator. We will be recording the nightly services, interviewing the Jules honorees, past and present, recording the awards program, and the finale night event. So join us for the 10th National Gospel Songwriters Conference, July 7th through the 10th. Can't wait to see you there!
Welcome to Readings with Evangelist Linda Coleman. Let's allow her to take us on a spiritual journey with these amazing books that she has found. So take a deep breath, grab a healthy snack, and let's relax and listen in.
Well, hello, everyone. And I pray that you are all doing well. And so glad that you're joining me one more time here at DLM Media Networks with Good Reads with Evangelist Linda Coleman. And baby, we've been reading some good stuff lately. We just finished Brother Frank Thompson Jr. book on the last session, but now we're into a love story. Go, baby. Can we have some love romances in our life? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So I want to introduce you to a new friend of mine, Dr. Louise Smith. Her book is called An Amazing Life All in One Day. And it's a spiritual relationship that she has with her husband. And she's showing us how God put them together. And baby, if you think it's all over for you, here's my sister to let you know it ain't over, because the fat lady is not singing yet. Yes. And if she is singing, she can shut up because she ain't finished the song, okay? Because God always does something for his daughters and his sons as well. Something special. And even in our latter age, we can still have a wonderful relationship with somebody. And I thank God for this new book, An Amusing Life All in a Day. I need a little romance novel to read to you that's not crazy, right? But so clean and crisp and fresh. Let me give you a foreword one more time for those of you that missed the introduction last week. She said it was Saturday, September the 2nd, 2019, the second day of our calm but blissful delight. After celebrating 14 years of being married, it was just another year. We were two grateful souls basking in our moment of reflections and emotions. Oh, I reminiscent of the actual night Linton and I met at 9:30 p.m. at the Sentinel of Hope Christian Ministries. Now the girlfriend got the time down. Baby, I don't know when or what time I met mine in the past. A church organized through the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World to get married. This was the church Linton attended. The ground was almost barren, lifeless, except for the 6 cars on the lot, including Linton and mine. My second-born king, Calissa, was unable to attend, but his wife, Larissa, and their 12-month-old baby boy. They were there with me. He was dressed in this cute little green short outfit. I love the way she just describes everything, right? And with his Air Jordan sneakers. You know how we do our babies and grandchildren. We just try to give them the best since we can these days, you know. She said, my firstborn king, Maurice, was the videographer who captured some of the footage of the nuptials. But the pastor and his wife and the two members of his congregations were also there to witness this new beginning. Kendall, the third-born king, proudly walked his mother down the aisle to her forever mate. To her forever mate. From 1999 to 2006, I was a part of a church in the city, a full gospel, charismatic, independent church whose pastor had strong charisma. His skin was smooth and dark, and he was debutante eyes, easy on the eyes. He was debonair, I'm sorry. He was debonair and easy on the eyes with $1 million smile, and he could sing you into a fit. He was as handsome as he could be. However, he had a dark side. He was selfish, self-absorbed, controlling, manipulative, and known for his pulpit bashing. Well, for about 18 of the 24 months of Mr. Smith's and my courtship, this overly protective preacher continually and strongly advised me not to marry Mr. Smith because in his estimation, he was not good enough for me, which made him not the one for me. Y'all remember how we talked about this the last time, right? This is just a foreword to get you ready for what's coming up, okay? So going against the grain was not something I would normally do, but in this case, I was found guilty. There was no proof of these make-up prophecies from the overseer of this full gospel standalone ministry. Would God reveal himself to another person without speaking his truth to the person in whom the warning was meant for? No. One thing for sure, we are all God's children and creation, and not just the pastors. It is my belief that his parishioners were more afraid of him than they were or respected him. When he discovered my awakening, he showed this, like he didn't care about me anymore at all. And then he, for his wife, when she could find the opportunities to belittle and embarrass me, that was like ridiculous. Okay. And then the congregation ended up going against her. But you know what? Even when we're in the wrong congregation, sometime or the wrong environment, God has a way of taking us out of it and putting us where we belong. But as it turned out, they still got married. In 14 years, this is what they're celebrating, their 14-year anniversary. That is so beautiful. I think I kind of went further past. I went to the introduction. I passed up the foreword, but you know, that was to kind of give you an idea that at first this wasn't approved, but God, when he approves something, can't nobody touch it, right? It's all God, all right? And if you get this book for yourself, you can read it for yourself as well. Don't just trust me, okay? Get it for yourself. You can get it at Amazon, you know, probably some other bookstores around. You probably could even call this lady. We're going to bring her here, and she's going to be doing a video with us real soon. As soon as I can get her schedule where the two of us can talk about this wonderful book. But today, I want to talk about the shoe conversation. Baby, when I read this section of it, I just smiled and I went like, now that is too cute. In the midst of something that you would think, you know God is there, but you wouldn't think he would be there for you or to show you that I can put love in the midst of all this that's going on. I can still show you that I can send somebody that can show you much love and much care. So chapter 2 is about a shoe conversation. Kendall at the time was 22 years old. He was living with a track after having a tracheostomy. Tracheostomy. Yeah, a tracheostomy. Y'all know what I'm talking about when you have to get the throat cut and then they have to give you that air passage for you to breathe out. Well, Kendall had a tract in his throat. Okay. And the tube from an injury inquired sustained in a head-on collision by a drunk driver in 1993. His injuries were very severe. He suffered open and closed head contusions. Oh, baby was really going through some stuff. He was knocked from the back seat of our neighbor's hatchback into a coma for 14 days. That had to be very, oh, dramatic and very hard on the family, to have a very bad accident. And then, drunk drivers, many times they come out of accidents like that without a scratch, like nothing even happened. But the people who they hit usually suffers the most. I heard that the doctors were not hopeful of Kendall's life. I also suffered injuries in that car crash with 2 broken thighs. My right leg almost severed and glass all in my face from the broken windshield. Those were challenging times, but by the grace of God, we yet remain and we came out as the victors. Well, I pray and I thank God for giving you the victory and y'all being okay. But Brother Kendall still has to deal with this tract in his throat. Well, Kendall had this tube put in place, but it was removed before returning home from the hospital. However, in 1999, Kendall developed pneumonia for the second time. At this time, it was pretty bad. He was placed on a ventilator because he was not strong enough to breathe on his own. Woo, he was grossly obese and was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Y'all know what that is? CHF, congested heart failure. Then he got pneumonia with this too. Poor baby. We don't understand which came first, the pneumonia, which gave him CHF, or the CHF that gave him the pneumonia. It's probably so close. Who's to determine what happens first? But the doctor threatened with these words: the only way to improve his quality of life, he would have to wear a I have trouble with this word, but a trachea, a tracheostomy. A tracheostomy. Well, y'all know what I'm trying to say. But he had to wear that thing on his throat so he could talk through it and everything, probably. Poor baby. He said that was the only way he could wear. He would have to have that tube on his throat for the rest of his life. That was the scariest time in our sister's life. Oh, my God. She said dealing with a special needs child made it even worse. Well, a lot of the time, Kendall's tract would get clogged, which would impede the progress of his breathing. Well, right. I figured that would be the problem. Okay. Thus, I have to take him to the hospital for them to help get it unclogged. You see the commercials where the people saying about smoking and stuff, and they can't face the shower and stuff like that. And they have to speak with the little special tube, but not that they can't speak, but they can speak. And they have to go through some stuff. So when they get clogged up, she can't clean it out. She has to go to the hospital and have them to unclog it. And then he's a special needs child. You know what I'm saying? At the same time. So, my sister was really dealing with something. You think because you got a knucklehead child that you're dealing with something. Think about this sister and so many more sisters who are dealing with a lot more than just an unruly child. And an unruly child can be rude if you do the right steps. She said, I would usually call his brother to let them know where I would be and their dad. But on this particular Saturday night, I made my round of calls to family members to tell them what was about to happen. But then I had an inkling to call Mr. Smith to let him know what was going on. Now remember, Mr. Smith been coming around a little bit, getting to know the family a little bit, you know. First she didn't really want to talk to him, and he was disturbing us sleep and all that good stuff. But now they kind of got to be, you know, a little close and did some things together. So now she wanted to call him and let him know. When I called him, I could hear his compassion almost immediately. It don't take no long time for true love to come through, even on the telephone. What she said, he said, let me pray for him. I thought to myself, wow, he's praying right away? I mean, that's the first thing he thought about was praying for Kendall. I thought to myself, wow, he's praying. Is this a ploy? Is this a trick? Is he a religious man? Whatever it was, it encouraged my soul. At that very moment, he reminded me of my daddy, who prayed for and about everything. I think my kids would say the same thing about their mom, and definitely my grandchildren would say, "Oh, Big Red, she's gonna pray about something in a minute. Then she's gonna ask you." But here it is, Brother Smith. As soon as he hears about what's going on with Kendall, as well as with Sister Louise, ask any questions, went right into prayer. She said, after the prayer, he asked, what hospital are you going to? Providence Hospital on Forest Drive, I replied. I then drove to the hospital carrying a blanket of Kendall's and me as we were patient in the waiting room. Hospitals are usually cold, and that was smart of her to bring the blanket. So we had our blankets to cover up for warmth and comfort. Kendall was gagging and coughing as if his life depended upon a cough to keep him breathing. It was really scary to hear and worse to witness. Oh, Mama's heart. He wanted to go to the restroom. I was reluctant because I knew he needed to go, but I was worried about my baby. All right. When he got back to me, we covered up again, and he had still not been called to triage when I felt a connection with my shoes. There they are in the emergency room under their cover, the two of them. He done went to the bathroom. He's back with his mom. And you know how it is when you're in a hospital. And then if you cuddle up, that was real smart of her to bring the blanket. I always seem to not think about that. And, just go. But hospitals are cold. And they're probably got their eyes closed. They're probably, she's holding him, letting him lean up against her chest and stuff, as he's suffering and everything. But then she says, I felt a connection with my shoes. As a point of reference, I would call the boys and their dad to let them know where we were. And sometimes my second born, Carly, would meet me at the hospital just to keep us company. It was convenient for him because he lived in the city, not so much for his oldest brother because he was in a totally different town, about 30 minutes away. I like this part. When I read it, I just felt what she felt. And I said, this is so romantic. She says, when I felt the shoes touching my shoes, I had concluded that it was Carly because that's something he would do and have done in the past. So she thinking it's her son. I lifted the blanket at the shoes and noticed they weren't Carly's shoes. Moving my eyes upward, I realized that those weren't Carly's legs, and removing the blanket altogether to be completely surprised that it was Mr. Smith's shoes. Call Mr. Smith, he's smooth. He's so smooth. Didn't say a thing. He just slid right down, connected with my girl Louise. Gone girl. That had to be really nice. Removing the blanket altogether to be completely surprised that it was Mr. Smith's shoes. In my astonishment, I was greatly moved that he would leave his home to sit with me and my son as we go through this very difficult time. How selfless. He said to me, I thought I would come and sit with you so you wouldn't have to be alone, baby. Well, he probably didn't say it like that, but I thought I'd come to sit with you so you won't be alone. I thought I'd come sit with you so you won't be alone. That had to warm the heart. And she had to get a warm feeling all through her. You know what I'm saying? She should have, you know. And what she says with big bold letters, y'all, what? What? What you talking about, boy? You come to sit with me so I won't be alone while I'm dealing with this with my baby boy. Oh, hallelujah, Jesus. Lord, what took you so long? Well, who does that for anyone that they barely have known? It was a warm gesture, and I greatly appreciate it because I was the only one doing this by myself because Kendall's dad worked the graveyard shift, and it wasn't necessarily his brother's responsibilities to do anything about it. We were there for hours upon hours. Come on, y'all. Y'all know how it is in the emergency room. And Mr. Smith was right there with us, right there. Maybe you need some coffee. You want a Coke? Want some chips or something like that all together? You know, you need anything at all? You know, I'll go get it for you, baby. I know we're not there, but y'all know how it is when you got somebody that loves you and is showing you how much they care about not just you, but your son as well. That's pretty good. Well, when we finally left the hospital, Mrs. Smith followed us to our home to make sure we got in safely. What a kind and gentle man. In a few short hours, it was Sunday morning and time to go to church. Y'all remember in the other chapter, when she came home one time and they were still in the car, he was there and he went to the car and asked her for the keys to the house so he can go and check and make sure the house was safe for them to go into. That was just when he first really met her. And here it is again. He's making sure that all is well before they go in that house. We went to church as usual. The pastor at this time was using my example of what dedication looks like. Well, as I look back on it now, I should have stayed home with my son because of the big oxygen machine we had for his comfort was just a whole lot to deal with. He should have been home in his bed resting, and his mom too, from the trauma of the night. Well, sometimes we are very dedicated to what we do, Sister Smith, especially when it comes to serving the Lord. And a lot of times, I'm sure it was on your mind. I want to give God some praise that my son made it through the night. God still showed favor to us, and if we can go anywhere else in the world, why not go to God's house first, and we can rest when we come back. But I'm sure the church would have understood, and God would have understood if he had stayed home. Well, after church and without intelligent thought, I made a hasty decision to take an afternoon drive to Charleston to hang out with my sisters. While driving down the interstate, this song came on the radio by Donnie McClurkin called Again. When I heard the lyrics to this song, I had to pull over. I cried like a newborn baby without its mother's milk. The lyrics remind me so much of that days past of being with Mr. Smith. She said phrases like, again I call you, and again you answer, and again I need you, and again you're there, and again I reach out, and again you hold me, you console me once more, and again. Those are the lyrics to the song Again by Brother Donnie McClurkin. And those of y'all that know the song, you're familiar with that. But that touched Sister Smith's heart so strong that day. After everything and knowing here this brother is right there with her, sharing things that she's going through that she never thought someone that she remembers, they haven't been knowing each other a long time yet. Yet here he is with her. Those words took me on a journey. It was like I had to take this trip so that I could hear this song, to recognize what was taking place in her life. Because it was at that very moment that I realized I have a growing affection for this man. So I called him to let him know I was thinking about him and to thank him for his unselfish kindness. It was so attractive and apparently authentic. Listen, give me my roses now. Don't wait till I'm dead and then want to fill my casket or church up with roses and lilies and gardenias and magnolias and all that stuff when I'm gone. No, give it to me now. And that's what Sister Smith did. She started feeling this warm feeling. I told you when she's listening to Dynamite Clerk and them singing, she thought about a good man that the Lord had sent in her way. And yeah, warm feeling. Woo, hallelujah. Yes, indeed. Go ahead, girl. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. However, I should have not been driving because I was so sleepy from being up practically the whole night. Nothing really gets you more alert and vibrant like running into the guardrail on the highway of the interstate. Well, that's just her talking about. She could have easily done that, but she didn't do that. I am now fully engaged. Excuse me. As oh my God, now I'm yawning, huh? I'm now fully engaged as an alert driver. I'm driving and reflecting on these last few days. I'm in the happiest state of my life because my son was fine. All was well with him. He didn't get smashed from the mishap. And there was someone who seemed to be genuinely concerned about not just me, but us, my family, somebody, another man that was genuinely interested about us, concerned about how well we are. And I'm having a regard for him. This was the best day to share my joy with my comrades, her sisters. Remember, that's where she's going. And I'm sure she can't wait to get there and tell them all about Brittany Smith. Girl, there's a well, you know how it is when we want to tell our sisters and we can't wait to get to them to let them know about the new man in our life. Hallelujah. Girlfriend was feeling good. She was flying high, honey. Now I don't have no sisters when my daddy had me, the only girl that my father had. That was it. My brothers were still behind me to take care of it, their big sister, but I shared a lot of stuff with my brothers. So I guess sharing with brothers could be just as much fun as sharing with sisters. And Sister Smith could not wait to tell her sisters all about Mr. Smith and how he hung out with her at the hospital and how he's been checking the house out to make sure it's safe before they get in there, how he's been sharing time with the family and everything. She said, well, by now 5 months have passed. We were in the autumn season, and by this time, I had learned some important things about Mr. Smith. Whether we were on the phone or in each other's company, wherever I called him or whenever I called him, he would never say, huh? What do you want? What is it? Or what? Usually he would answer with, ma'am, is this man well groomed, well raised? This a man, y'all. But more times than not, he would answer with a yes. That boggled my mind. I can see the notion that he was going to make every request heard and every question answered with his own power and with the help of the Lord. I remember giving him a test with some food one time. Now, ladies, try this when you go out, okay? Because it kind of just happened to me just now, or when I had lunch with a friend of mine, and he made sure I got the last portion, and that was really really nice of him. But he's not. It was. I really appreciate him being such a gentleman for that. And after reading this, kind of made me think about it. Okay, but Mr. Smith, I remember giving him a test with some food. We were not in a public setting for dinner, but when he was about to enjoy the last piece of his food, I asked him, Mr. Smith, do you love me? He would kindly and assuringly say, yes, Louise, I love you. Then I asked, well, may I have that last bite? Of course, he was at the end of a great food experience. I didn't know what to expect from him. Well, he would withheld from me. Will he withhold from me his own pleasure? Now, this is his plate. Last piece. Do you love me? Yeah. Well, I don't know what to do with this. Can I have that last little bite? Okay. Well, he gave it freely. Oh, no, she's saying, will he give it freely or give it begrudgingly? Like, oh, Lord, this woman here. I can't believe she's asking me for the last little piece of this macaroni and cheese. And she know I like macaroni and cheese. And this macaroni and cheese is like really, really good. And she wants me to give her the last piece. She said, I learned something wonderful about him that day. Without hesitation, he surrendered his last morsel of goodness. Without hesitation. Can I have the last piece? Oh, yeah, baby, no problem. Go ahead, old girl. Thank you. That was his test, and he passed it. Go. That's all right. What spoke volumes to me from that moment on, I realized I had a gem, and I would do all I could to protect it at all costs. His nature was so beautiful that when I closed my eyes in his presence, I couldn't tell his character from my daddy's, nor could I couldn't tell his character from my daddy, nor could I tell his character from what I heard and read of God. They all seemed like they was the same in one. And no, I wasn't putting him on a pedestal. Remarkable, incredible, amazing, and fantastic he is. But I wasn't putting him on a pedestal. But I was respecting what God had put in this man. This man, girl, you find a man like that, you better hold on to it. And I'm with you, Sister Smith. At all costs, hold on to him. Hold on to him. She said early on in our courtship, Mr. Smith would call to see if he might stop by for a few moments. When he did, he would play one or two songs on my music system with different intentions. These songs became anthems of our love. The first written by Kenny Lattimore, For You. The second, I introduced this one, written by Stephen Curtis Chapman, I Will Be Here. He would guide me to a chair, and he would put my hand in his, caress my head, and look 1,000 glances in my eyes. Oh, did y'all hear that? I got to describe that again. He would guide me to a chair. He's getting ready to serenade the sister. And he would put my hand in his hand. Whew, caress my hand and look 1,000 glances in my eyes. Look at me. Looking at me, deep in me. No words prior or since spoken. When the song ended, he guided me to stand, and then he would hold me ever so carefully, as if I was a as if I were a gentle 1 day old infant. Ooh. Hold me, baby. Hold me. Mm-mm. Other times he would kiss my face and then vacate the room. Now you know, Brother Smith too smooth. That's a smooth brother there. Some of you brothers need to read this book. Some of you brothers need to get it so you can know how to be a smooth operator, but yet a sincere operator. That's what made everything about this relationship so beautiful. It is genuine. He not playing a game. Neither is he trying to set her up. And then the more we read this book, the more we're going to feel like there is still a chance for us out there that don't have a man yet. Okay, Mr. Smith's approach was definite and unforgettable, all without going to a place of no return. For our endless phone conversations, Kenny G and Tony Braxton songs that someone was you would either begin our conversation or end it. He is a man of great passion. If he were excited about something, all and everybody would know it. If he protested a belief and felt strongly against something, all would know it. For his music, his girl, his religion, he has a deep affinity for these subjects. We've had many discussions about God, the Bible, and other spiritual matters. My darling boo was a staunch legalist. Over the years, he has mellowed out many things, especially those pertaining to critical subjects. What a wonderful man that this young lady has in her life. Let's go right into chapter 3 because I really am trying to set you up for it. Chapter 3 is called The 10 Ring of Fellowship. The 10 Ring, RING, of Fellowship. She said, one of my fondest memories of our early courting days was when Mr. Smith gave me a Cracker Jacks box. Y'all remember Cracker Jacks? It's still around, and it's still good, too. Well, the backstory to the Cracker Jack was from when I was a little girl with my daddy. He would usually bring me a box of Cracker Jacks. It was our very special moment. Sometimes he would bring them in a 3-box package. You know how Cracker Jacks used to come like that. And you still can get like that 2 today for 3 in the package. I remember being so excited about receiving a 10 ring like they advertised in the commercial. Just the caramel popcorn was a treat all to itself. I was looking for something other than a ball or a notepad or a whistle or some stupid little surprise toy. My highest hope was to get the 10 ring. When my daddy brought home the Cracker Jacks, I would dump the contents out into the bowl because I just needed to see what was the surprise inside. Well, immediately I remember telling Mr. Smith that story, and however, I don't remember when I told him about my childhood story with the Cracker Jacks. I don't understand. And she said, I don't even remember when we talked about it. It was just one of them many conversations that they had had. She said, I remember it as fresh as if it happened this morning. She said, it was Thanksgiving Thursday. The family was gathering a little later in the day. Mr. Smith was the first to arrive with a bag behind his back. He greeted me with a sugar smack on my left cheek. When I blushed, he handed me a plastic grocery bag. Nothing prepared me for the next few moments, y'all. I was blown away. Okay. I opened the grocery bag, peeked inside, and let out a squeal. Woo! Wait! Oh, wow! Hallelujah! He brought me 3 separate Cracker Jacks boxes. Oh, wait, what that does me? Well, at that moment, I was reduced to a 4 or 5 year old child again. I pulled one of the boxes out of the bag, opened vigorously, because just maybe, I would get a real prize this time. Well, to my same experience as when I was a child, there was not only a gift I didn't desire, but there was no surprise gift whatsoever in the first Cracker Jack box. There was nothing in it. Not nothing. Okay. So I tried again with the second box. I dumped the second box into the bowl. And what do you know? A ring was in that box. Ah, yes, indeed. Mr. Smith bought a 10-carat gold double heart ring. A 10-carat gold double heart ring, and put it into the Cracker Jacks box and sealed it up so wonderfully that I never would have figured out that he had put a ring in the box. Go ahead on, Brother Smith. You got it going on, brother. You got it going on. He gave the ring a definition. He took the ring out of my bowl, placed it on the ring finger of my right hand, and said, Miss James, this is a ring of friendship. Will you wear this as a token of our friendship? That had to be really special. Really, 10-carat gold, double heart. Will I ring this? Will I wear this? Because this is our friendship ring. That's a good girl. That's good enough for me. Oh my God. I was moved to tears, and I accepted his ring and his friendship. When the children started to gather, he, without a word, touched his right finger, and I touched the ring he gave me. What a precious and priceless moment. I don't know about y'all, but that's what it's going to have to take for me. It's going to have to take somebody really, really special that really knows how to appreciate a woman. For me to get involved with anybody, he got to show me some genuine love. He got to go for it. He got to show me that he's compassionate, that he loves me, that he's concerned about me, that he wants to be a part of my life, and then he wants to be a part of my kids' life and everything. Oh, yeah. No, he can't just come up to me no half kind of way, no half stepping. We're going to talk about the ring some more in the next session that we have. I know we got your curiosity because y'all want to know what else about this ring thing is going on. But Sister Smith has it going on in her book. You better get your copy, An Amusing Life, all in one day, by Dr. Louise Smith. Oh, baby girl. Thank you, Dr. Smith, for sharing with us such a wonderful and sweet love story. For him to be in the hospital with you, you holding your baby underneath your blanket and keeping him warm, and him just touching your shoe with his shoe. It sends a little thrill through your whole body, but you think it's your son, only to look down and realize that's not your son's shoes. That's not his legs. And then I look all the way up and go like, ooh, la, la, it's Mr. Smith. Yes, ma'am. I'm mad at you, Sister Smith. I'm glad for you. And I'm glad that you've written this wonderful book that other sisters can know that it ain't over. Even sometimes when the fat lady sing, it still ain't over. There's a chance and another opportunity out there to meet a good man. And remember, he found her. She didn't go looking for him. She didn't go searching no internet for him, trying to match up with him and none of those good things. You just keep doing you, ladies. You keep being a woman of the Lord. You keep sharpening up your relationship with God. How are you going to love a man if you don't love God? If you don't know how to love God, how are you going to know how to really love your man? Baby, the first love is to love the Lord, the God, our God, with all your heart, with everything in you, your every inch. Ooh, every part of you, your every muscle, your thoughts is on God. He will send you somebody that you can truly appreciate. And you see God all in him. And that's the kind of man you want. Yeah, you don't want what no computer say that works good for you. And somebody that's on the internet clowning around. I tried internet stuff years ago. Boy, hallelujah, Jesus. When I got to Houston, Texas, that man didn't look nothing like his picture. I'm walking all over the dude. Oh, Linda Coleman? No, Linda Wright at the time. Linda Wright, I was divorced, but still called Linda Wright. Linda Wright, and I looked around and looked at him. I says, "Yeah, are you such and such person?" He says, "Yeah." I just could have threw up right there on the spot. I'm like, oh my goodness, that was the last time I went to the internet to try to find a man. Now, some people say they find some good ones in there. Well, God bless you. If that's where you have to go and get yours, I wish you much luck, but I'm not going to go searching for nothing because I'm a good thing. I am a good thing. I'm worthy to be found. I'm not sitting up on top of the ground. I am somebody you could dig for, baby. I'm good stuff. Yes, because God made me. And I'm even better than I was with my first two husbands. My first husband was okay. Second husband just led me to the den of damnation is where I was going and didn't even realize it at the time. But I was going there with, oh man, with hot shoes on and all that stuff, going straight to hell. Yes, it was. But now that I found God and I live a different way, I know what if my father wants somebody in my life, he's going to send me somebody like that, Brother Smith, that appreciates me and loves my family. But most of all, that he loves God. Listen, ladies, I got to leave you, but please tune in next week. And we're going to do it again. We're going to go talk about some more of this good stuff. Listen, I want to invite you to St. Joseph House of Prayer next month, May 30th. I forgot to send Pastor Piggy's the information on this. Maybe I did send her a flyer. I'll send her a flyer again. We're going to have an art show out there. I'm looking for artists to come and just set your tent up, set your table up, put your art exhibits on exhibit, your artwork on exhibit, sit back, relax. Doesn't cost you a thing, but a little time. May 30th from 2 to 5 p.m., 3 hours. Come on out there. You never know who you're going to touch. Now, the only thing we're asking is that you bless the church. And guess what? Even if you don't bless the church, come on out anyway. Let's bless us with your presence, with your fellowship. You know, I love meeting people. And this time might not be your time to donate. Maybe the next time, okay? So I love you very much. Oh, and the Rib Man going to be there, stinking up the ground with all the barbecue. Yes. I love good barbecue. Mr. Rib Man knows how to really do that too. So you guys be good. And y'all remember what I always say. I don't care what you're going through. Remember, number one, the devil is a liar. He's come to steal, kill, and destroy your joy, your confidence, your faith in God. That's what he wants to do. So we, as the children of the King, we know better that when the devil shows his head up, we lift our heads up, we stick our chest up, shake it off. Yeah, get it off, Sharpen up your sword, shine your shield, knock the dust off your feet, take the tongue that God has blessed you, look the devil in the eye, and tell him for sure that all is well. You guys have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.
I celebrate the Most High God. I had to find him for myself. But it's evident everything you see is about God. Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Sidkenu, he's always there. And I can only say that he's real. So real, so real, I used to be a wretched. Thank God for the Son. Saved me, gave me the victory. Oh, so real, yes you are. You walk with me, to me. Oh, you talk with me, tell me I'm your own. Yes you are. So real, yeah. To me. I was lost on my
Wow, I do hope you enjoyed today's readings. But until next time, I want you to focus and remember God is still in control. Be blessed. Have a great day.